Is the soft life lazy or unrealistic, or are women finally refusing to suffer for approval? Welcome to day 19. I'm Dr. Nicole, and today we are reacting to some viral content and some of these viral takes that claim that soft life women are lazy, unrealistic, or avoiding responsibility, not understanding life, and so on. I've been seeing these opinions and videos everywhere, and as a psychologist who specializes in helping women heal from burnout, trauma, and reclaim their feminine energy, I definitely have some thoughts. Because here's what I think is really happening. We live in a culture that's so addicted to struggle that when women choose ease, it triggers people. When women refuse to suffer for approval, it makes others uncomfortable. So let's break down some of these takes and get to the truth about what the soft life really is. Let's look at one of the videos.
All right, so I got to thinking again, and I wanted to address this soft life um idea or fantasy that women always are talking about and saying they want to have a soft life, right? And a lot of times they want a man to come in and give them this soft life. And what is a soft life? Let's start there. Soft life, according to women, is living life without struggle and stress, but more so with enjoyment and comfort. So, do we not all live in the same world? Do we not know that life be life and life can get hard at times? At what point are we going to realize the soft life is not realistic? Even wealthy people have problems, right? So to have this thought that a man is supposed to come in and make sure that you can live in this stress-free life is unrealistic and selfish as hell. Yes, I said it. Selfish as hell. Y'all are literally letting Disney and all these fairy tales get to y'all's head. That is not realistic. Living a soft life is not realistic.
All right, so you saw the video, and that's not the only one. There's so many opinions and takes. If you scroll through any of the social media platforms, you will see similar videos like this. And the first thing I notice in these viral takes is a fundamental misunderstanding of what the soft life actually means. People are equating soft life with doing nothing, with being unproductive, with avoiding all challenges or responsibilities. And that's just not what it is. Soft life doesn't equal doing nothing. Soft life equals having a regulated nervous system, healthy boundaries, and moving through life with intention instead of chaos, so that when you meet the stress, you have a way to deal with it. It's not about avoiding work, it's about working from alignment instead of desperation. It's not about having no goals, it's about pursuing goals without sacrificing your well being. A woman living a soft life might be incredibly productive, but she's productive from a place of ease rather than stress. She might work hard, but she doesn't work from a place of proving her worth. She says no to things that drain her so she can say yes to things that fulfill her. She prioritizes rest so she can show up fully when she is working. She has no problem setting standards for a relationship and seeking a relationship that benefits her and adds to her rather than going for a ride or die, we're always going to struggle type of love. And that's just how it is. She sets boundaries so she can give from overflow instead of emptiness. That's not unrealistic. That is emotional intelligence. Here's what I think is really behind these soft life is unrealistic and lazy takes: productivity trauma. Many people, especially women, have been conditioned to only feel valuable when they're exhausted or when they're proven how hard life is. They've learned that their worth is tied to their output, that rest is selfish, that struggle is noble, and that is real life. So when they see women choosing ease, choosing boundaries, choosing healthy relationships, choosing to prioritize their well being, it triggers their own unhealed relationship with productivity and worth. They attack softness because rest feels unfamiliar or threatening to them. If you spent your whole life believing that struggle is what's the norm, that you have to earn love through exhaustion, seeing someone who doesn't operate that way can feel threatening to your entire worldview. It's like when people who've been in toxic relationships attack healthy relationships, which is another trend that we see all the time online. It's not really about the healthy relationship, It's about their own unhealed trauma around what love is supposed to look like. And that's another thing that we get from the soft life is unrealistic takes. It's that love can never help to make your life easier. There's always this idea that trying to find a man, quote unquote, is the wrong way to go about it, as opposed to thinking about how to look for a relationship, a healthy man who is going to enhance your life and you do the same for him, where there is interdependence. The same thing happens with productivity. People who are addicted to hustle culture attack soft living because it challenges their belief that suffering equals success. But here's the truth: you don't have to suffer to be successful. You don't have to be exhausted to be valuable. You don't have to sacrifice your well being to achieve your goals. Here's what these critics are missing: the soft life is actually a power move. When you choose the soft life, you're choosing peace over chaos. You're choosing boundaries over people pleasing. You're choosing alignment over approval. You stop proving yourself to people who were never going to value you anyway. You stop thinking about how relationships should be based on the dysfunctional examples that you saw. You look for different ways of being. You stop auditioning for love from people who want you to earn it through suffering. You start operating from your own internal validation instead of constantly seeking external validation. You start making decisions based on what feels right for you instead of what looks impressive to others and might be causing you more stress than you can handle. You prioritize your mental health, your physical health, your emotional well being, not because you're selfish, but because you start to understand that you truly cannot pour from an empty cup. That is not laziness. That is not unrealistic. That's liberation. It takes incredible strength to choose softness in a world that rewards hardness. It takes courage to choose ease in a culture that glorifies struggle. It takes wisdom to choose alignment in a society that celebrates chaos. Here's what I think is really happening: we live in a culture that's terrified of women who know their worth. When women are exhausted, overwhelmed, and constantly proving themselves and believing that there's no hope for relationships, they're easier to control. They're easier to exploit. They're easier to keep small, hopeless, and helpless. But when women choose softness, when they set boundaries, when they prioritize their well being, they become harder to manipulate. They become more discerning about who gets access to their energy. They seek healthy, fulfilling relationships, and their standards are higher. They become more selective about what they will accept in their lives. And that threatens systems that depend on women's self sacrifice, even some of these work and professional systems. So, of course, there's pushback. Of course, there are people calling it lazy or unrealistic because women who live soft lives are women who know their power. Now, I do want to address one valid point that comes up: the privilege argument. Some people say that the soft life is only accessible to women with financial privilege. And there's some truth to that. Having financial resources does make it easier to choose ease, to set boundaries, to prioritize well being. But here's what I've learned from working with women from all different backgrounds, from my travels to more than 50 countries: softness is available at every income level. It's not about having a perfect life. It's about how you move through your imperfect life. You can choose soft responses over harsh ones. You can choose regulated energy over chaotic energy. You can choose to protect your peace even when your circumstances are challenging. The soft life isn't about having no problems, it's about not creating additional problems through the way you respond to the problems that you do have. It's also about the mindset that says that I don't have to accept stress, chaos, and struggle all the time as just a norm in my life. Softness isn't lazy, it's emotional maturity. It's the choice to live intentionally instead of reactively. It's the choice to prioritize your well being instead of sacrificing it for approval. And if that threatens people, that says more about them than it does about you. Ladies, keep choosing softness, keep choosing ease, keep choosing yourself. Hit subscribe for day 20, where we're talking about what being a global traveler taught me about femininity. Some beautiful insights I gained from different cultures around the world. Tell me in the comments, have you faced criticism for choosing a softer approach to life? How did you handle it? I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm Dr. Nicole.